Number three, what I had to do was I had to find out what their problems were, what was happening. I knew they were having troubles. I knew what was happening there. They were all struggling and they were all swearing at their project teams, and the control from the project teams was immense. And I tried to figure out, well, what do I need to look at here? What do I need to attack? How can I help them? And it was a very, very difficult one to find out what was happening. Without any reports, nobody would give me a report. And I found out later that the reason why is because nobody made any reports or did anything. So they didn't even do their own burn downs, even quietly. They just simply didn't do reporting. That's it. They weren't open to that. So without access to anything like that, I had Atlassian's Jira they all use. So I took a look at that as the only way to find out what was actually happening. And what was happening really surprised me. It surprised me so much that I never even thought about it at the beginning. When you took a look at the process going through an edge for a team to build something, it was more like something like that. Whereas those red pieces there are where the team gets involved. All the rest of it is the project work and doing the project things. So you'd get teams working away on doing something and then suddenly look at what's their next thing to do, and it would be changed to something different. They didn't control their own project areas. There was a problem. And the other problem was that the project people acted in the old style way of they went out and got their team. Now they got a team. So that team is now working for them. It's their team and they feel it's their team. And the CIO was very adamant about that. No, it's not their team. It belongs to DBS. It's our team. So we had a look at a few things there. So my challenges were, I had to drag this team, each of those teams, kicking and screaming back into DBS. I had to get them to use their own boards. I'll explain that a little later. But what happened was that what I did was I went along and I spoke to both the team managers or the Scrum Masters and the project people, which were usually in a different office. So I was flying backwards and forwards quite a bit. And what I found was that they were actually all open to the teams doing their own work and then not being necessarily out of it. Yes, there were some very difficult people who not want to let go of control. It was their team after all. And it wasn't until I expressed that, no, actually, they're not your team. They belong to DBS. So we've assigned the work to DBS. We want to assign it to the correct teams that relating to what's work so that, you know, we can get the right mix of skills necessary. And after a while, I started thinking about this. It took a little while and it took a number of discussions. And finally, they came across this idea then, yes, okay, we understand that so long as we can see what happens, you know, because there was the question within Jira, you can actually see what has moved into what column or what has been, where the process is now, when it's been completed or built. And they want to be able to track their project by what is being built and what is being sent back for, you know, for redoing, bugs, that sort of thing. So what I did was I got them to use their own Jira board. That the project team didn't want to let go of their Jira board, which is fine. It's their Jira board, no worries. But I created one for the team and said, here you go, this is what's happening. But what about all the stuff that comes in before what we do? And I said to them, that's nothing to do with you. You're there to build what's needed to be built. You have discussions on what you're going to build next, but really you're looking and you've got the vision of the whole project going through. but your team is looking at what it's building next sprint, what's there. And it's that focus that makes a difference.